Please stand clear of the doors. Por favor, manténganse alejado de las puertas.
Hello, welcome to the Disney Days Planning Podcast. This podcast is information about Walt Disney World, which is organized by topic. I'm your host, Alyssa Salveson. Hello. Thank you so much for being here with me again today as I discuss our amazing family trip to Disneyland out in California. It was truly amazing and I can't wait to go back. I don't know when that will be. It'll probably be, I think I'm just going to wait until my littlest Luke is taller and he can ride more rides. But I just can't wait to go back. We really had the best time. Now, Disneyland is very different from Disney World. Disney World sees a lot more people. It is a lot larger. That was Walt's vision. Also, remember, it's called Land and World. Disneyland is small and close together. So often when I talk about Disney World and about budgeting a lot of time to get between parks, you don't have to do that here. The parks are right across the street, a little path from one another. Everything's much closer. Disney Spring, you walk right out. Disney Springs is right there. It's not called Disney Springs. It's called Downtown Disney, but it's like Disney Springs, like the shopping and restaurant district. And then there's only 3 Disneyland resorts, and they're right there as well. It's just really cute and quaint, and I had the best time. Like I said, I can't wait to go back. The weather, too, is like so perfect. It was cold in the morning and at night, but during the day it was beautiful, like nice and warm. But it was lovely. We had the best time. So in my pre-trip report, I talked a lot about the planning. So here you'll hear our daily updates. I'll tag the pre-trip report in the show notes if you didn't listen to it and are interested in how I planned for this trip. Give it a listen. Just a quick summary, I had booked this a while ago through my friend Carrie, who's a travel agent. I'll tag her in the show notes as well if you're interested in booking a vacation with her. I also have another friend, Amy, who's a travel agent. I went on a cruise with her. She's been my friend for a very long time. But Amy also knows Disneyland really, really well. So I asked her for a lot of advice. So I'm going to tag her in the show notes as well. They're 2 of my very good friends. And another actually travel agent friend, my friend Kayla, who I've actually had on this podcast, she did a cruise trip report. I'll tag that episode in the show notes. But I actually texted her too about lightning lane strategy because she's gone to Disneyland a bunch and Amy doesn't have young kids anymore. Her kids are older. Kayla still has young kids. So I texted Kayla for some lightning lane strategy. So I'm going to tag all 3 of those agents in the show notes. They're all lovely, wonderful people. You'll be happy with any of them. The other thing, so I booked with my friend Carrie. She booked our room, which we stayed at the Disneyland Hotel. We stayed there for, I think it was 3 nights. Sunday night check-in. We got in very late Sunday night. Sunday night check-in, Monday, Tuesday, check-out Wednesday. Yeah, 3 nights. And the Disneyland Hotel was lovely. It was a little dated. The room was a little dated, but there's a new tower, which I saw on our last day. And I'm like, oh, next time I want to stay in this tower. It looked really new and swanky. I really liked the pool it was near. It was a cool vibe. But in general, loved the other thing I did in advance Hotel. When I booked my resort, I did a vacation package, which I never do at Disney World because we're pass holders. So the vacation package had the resort and our tickets together. It was expensive. It was like $5,000 maybe. So for the 3 nights and for 5 of us for 2-day tickets. And we just did 1 park a day. We didn't even do hoppers. So it was expensive. Sure, of course. If you're going to Disney World, it's going to be expensive. You just have to have that expectation. There are ways to do it cheaper, of course. I talk about that a lot. But you just know you're shelling out a chunk of change for a vacation. And I didn't really want to make sacrifices on our first trip to Disneyland. The other thing I did when I booked my vacation package, I added on Lightning Lane. Now, we just did 2 days, Monday and Tuesday. But I did, and it was $35 a person a day. And allegedly, that is the cheapest you will get it. So in Disneyland in California, you're able to buy lightning lanes when you buy your tickets, which you cannot do in Disney World. So that's the difference. So I did add that on to our package, and I'm very happy I did. Allegedly, you can buy lightning lanes the day of. Again, it's such a different vibe than Disney World. Disney World you can too, but if you're going during a busy time like spring break, like when I went, they might not be available. Where in Disneyland, I don't know, I didn't check, but it just was like more laid back. But I booked mine in advance, and allegedly it's more expensive the day of. So if you were trying to save money, and you knew you wanted to do it, just buy it when you buy your tickets. What else I do? The other thing I did was rent a stroller from, I think it was called Travel Baby Company. I linked it in the show notes to my pre-trip report, which again is linked in the show notes here. But that was fabulous. So in my pre-trip report, I was saying how I was nervous because my delivery window was 6 to 8 a.m. on Monday, April 6th. And I was a little nervous because I really wanted to be online at Disneyland by 7 a.m. And so I was like, oh, I hope they come early. Well, they texted me on Sunday asking if they could drop the stroller off on Sunday. And I said, yes, of course, I'd prefer that, but I'm not checking in until, we're still in New Jersey. We're not going to get into California until 10 o'clock at night. And they're like, that's okay. We'll leave it at Goofy's Kitchen. So that's what they did. I'm not sure if that's kosher. I'm not sure if they were supposed to do that because I know Disneyland, you're not really allowed to leave a stroller at Bellhop. You have to be present to get your stroller. But I was really happy. They were trying to lighten their load for Monday morning, so it worked out in my benefit for sure. So they left it right at Goofy's Kitchen. They sent me pictures of the stroller. And then when we got in Sunday night, I went over with one or two of my boys and we got the stroller. It's all very close together and it was easy peasy lemon squeezy. And then you just leave the stroller where you found it. That's what I did. They're like, just leave the stroller where you found it and send pictures back. And that was easy. It was great. It worked really, really well. The only thing I regret, I wish we would have done a car service. We decided to take an Uber or a taxi, but in LAX, you have to walk across the street. It's not like any other airport I've been to where you just walk outside and there's ride share. You had to walk across the street, down a path. You had to walk a significant distance with 3 little kids and no stroller at 9:30 at night California time. It was well past midnight East Coast time. So that I hated in LA, walking like that. I hated that. I wish we had gotten a car service, which, let the record show, I suggested that multiple times to my travel party. And they decided not to do that. So I just would like the record to show that if we would listen to Alyssa, things would just go a little smoother. It ended up being fine. We got in a taxi or whatever, and he was so nice. And it worked out fine. But we traveled with a car seat and 2 booster seats. It was a real pain in the butt. But we knew we were going to be driving a lot, because we also had an hour and 45-minute drive, I think it was, from about a 2-hour drive from Disneyland to our next stop in Palm Desert. So we knew we were going to spend a lot of time in a car, and we weren't sure if we were going to rent a car. We were going back and forth a lot about the car situation. So we did end up traveling with all those seats, which was annoying. But on our way home, we checked everything, and that was a lot easier. On the way out there, we gate checked, I think, the boosters, and that was we gate checked everything on the way there, and so that was a little annoying. But on the way home, we just checked it, regular check it, and that was much better. Okay, so I think that, the other thing I did was use the Stakeout app, which, as you know, is now my new favorite app. I used it a lot in February, and I used it again. We really wanted a Goofy's Kitchen reservation for Wednesday morning. I was unable to get it. I didn't think of it to book that so far in advance. Retrospectively, I should have booked it for Wednesday morning, and we always could have canceled it. But I didn't think of that, and I wasn't sure what time we were going to leave on Wednesday. to go. But again, retrospectively, I should have just made the stupid reservation and we could always cancel it. I did not do that, but I used the stakeout app. The free version I didn't pay this time because there was only one day and one small time frame that we needed the reservation for. So I used the free version, put out a stakeout for Goofy's Kitchen on Wednesday morning from 8 o'clock to like 12 o'clock, I think. I had like that as the range, and sure enough, I got it. I got it on Monday. It popped up, so I snagged that reservation. So I was very, very happy. I'm very pleased with the stakeout app. Okay, without further ado, here are my daily updates. Good morning. It is 7:55 on Monday, April 6th, and we are been waiting. When did we get it? Like 7:30. We've been waiting for like 20 minutes. Just waiting for them to drop the ropes. We're rope dropping Disneyland today. We got in very late last night. Like I don't even know what time because we were on like East Coast time. I guess it was like 9:30 Pacific time. We got to Disneyland Hotel by like 11 o'clock. We took a taxi, actually, minivan taxi, because we had so many things. Flight was really good, easy. It was a huge plane, like a big Airbus. But we're just waiting for them to rope drop. I really thought they'd drop the ropes before 8 o'clock, but they are not. It's 7:56 and still everyone's just waiting. Our plan is to knock out Fantasyland. So we're going to go, I think we're going to try to do Alice in Wonderland and then all the Fantasyland rides. We reserved our first lightning lane from 8:10 to 9:10 at the Matterhorn. And then I also mobile ordered breakfast at Jolly Holiday for like around the same time. So while we're rider swapping that, the other person can run to Jolly Holiday and get the breakfast. So far a lot of waiting, but we're excited for a good day. The lightning lanes, it's very interesting. The return times are all very early. So I can already see a big difference between Disney World. So I'm really excited to be here, but again, it's just a lot of like, this is why I don't rope drop. I hate just standing in line before you even do anything, just waiting to like even get in. But hopefully we'll get a lot done in the morning before it gets too crowded. All right, talk later. Okay, I gotta tell you, I was not liking rope drop, but we've already done 3 rides, and it's 8:24, and really Fantasyland has very low waits. We're online for Mr. Toad's Wild Ride, which I don't even know if I've ever been on in Disney World. All right, it's a little loud. I'll be back later. But rope drop, I have to say, annoying to wait, but we're having a very productive morning already. Okay, it is 9:14. We're currently on the circus train. Actually, I'm on it with Luke and Bo. My husband and Zach are on Matterhorn, and we're going to do a rider swap. But when we get off circus train, Bo, Luke, and I are going to go pick up a mobile order breakfast. I ordered from Jolly Holiday, so we're going to go over there and grab breakfast. We'll take a little breakfast break, quick breakfast break, and continue on. Wait times aren't bad. The only thing that happened was we did Pinocchio, Snow White, Mr. Toad's Wild Ride. Then we got online for Alice in Wonderland, and it broke down. So we had to get out of line, and that's when we went to do our Matterhorn lightning lane. After we scanned into Matterhorn, I booked a Space Mountain lightning lane, but the return time wasn't until 1. I figure after we're done eating, it'll be almost time for us to book another lightning lane anyway, because it's 2 hours, so we'll book it another. Okay, time to go. Okay, this is really very cute. We're having such a nice day. I'm very relaxed and not stressed at all. It's really, really nice. Again, I'm not stressed about the lightning lanes are so different at Walt Disney World. They go so much faster. Like the return times are all so late usually in Walt Disney World, where that is not the experience here. Oh my God, this is a pickle stand. How cute. It's closed right now, but. Okay, so to recap, we got here early for rope drop. Then we went right on Pinocchio. We parked our stroller because we were like, let's do Fantasyland. So we did Pinocchio, walked right on. We were like maybe the first people on that ride. Then we did Snow White. Then we did Mr. Toad's Wild Ride, all pretty much walk-ons. Then we got online for Alice in Wonderland, but it broke down. Got out of line. We went to our Matterhorn lightning lane. That was the first. So when you swipe your band in, you can book your first lightning lane. So we booked Matterhorn for like 9:10, and I refreshed it to push it a little later. It was 8 o'clock to 9 o'clock. And then I refreshed it, I modified it and refreshed it to push it a little later. So it was like 8:10 to 9:10 or something like that. At the same time, while we were waiting for the rope drop, I also mobile ordered like breakfast from Jolly Holiday. It's in the same location as like Crystal Palace would be in Walt Disney World. And it is so charming. It's charming like the plaza in at Walt Disney World, if you're familiar with it. Like it's the yellow umbrellas. It's very charming. But I got I mobile ordered us coffees, 2 cinnamon rolls, a yogurt parfait, a bacon, egg, and cheese sandwich on a croissant, cuties, the little oranges, and a chocolate croissant. So we just took a little eat break. So Zach and Paul rode, after we got out of the Alice in Wonderland line, going back, Zach and Paul went on Matterhorn. We set up a rider swap. And then I took my younger 3 on Circus Train. That was my last update. And then we went and got the food. We all met up. I am now by myself. I left them eating, and I'm going to go. Zach doesn't want to ride Matterhorn again, so I'm going to go do my lightning lane for Matterhorn. And then we're all going to meet at Alice in Wonderland and do this ride because it's back up and running. I'm right next to it, actually, right now as we talk. So we're going to meet here. And then we could do the teacups. We still could do the canal boats. And then we did almost everything in Fantasyland except for Peter Pan, which last I saw had a 50-minute wait, so we're not doing that. Then there's Small World, and we're going to go to Toontown. Before we go to Toontown, though, I want to buy an autograph book. I would have done that in advance, but the gift shop was closed when we got in, and I wanted to be here early. You know, the shops didn't open until 7, and I wanted to already be in the park at 7, so it just didn't quite work out for us, but it's okay. Oh, you know what? There are autograph books here. I think I'm going to grab one. Or unless these are postcards. Yeah, I'm going to grab one so my husband doesn't have to. I'm going to go now, and I'll touch base later on. Okay, so after Matterhorn, we all met for Alice in Wonderland, which was like the cutest ride ever. Then we were headed on our way to go on Small World and then head to Toontown. And on our way, we stumbled upon Geppetto and Genie. So we took pictures with them. We bought an autograph book, and it has the photos on the one side. So we took pictures with them. Then we went on Small World, which was really adorable. And I just was like so happy. It's so quintessential Disneyland. Then we took a potty break. Then we ended up going back and doing the Storybook Canal Boat, which is the cutest ride. Oh my gosh. I loved it. I want to do that in Alice in Wonderland again if we have time at night. I hear the storybooks like really lovely at like sunset. Then after that, we had to hit up a restroom and get some snacks. It started to get very hot, and we were all kind of fading, so we needed like a little mini rest. Then we went to Toontown, which was very crowded. Mickey and Minnie's was down, and we didn't want to wait in line to meet Mickey and Minnie, but we did walk through Mickey's house a little bit, and they played on the playground a little bit. We met Goofy there, and we also Zach and I rode the little Chippendale roller coaster. It was a posted 45-minute wait, but it was not 45 minutes. It was maybe 20. It was not posted what it said. The Mickey and Minnie was still down, but we all were getting a little hot and cranky. So we ended up taking the train. My little Luke loves trains. So we ended up taking the train over to Tomorrowland. We had a 1:15 Space Mountain lightning lane, so we did that. I'm in the rider's swap with that now. Zach didn't like it, so he doesn't want to ride it again, but he rode it with Paul. While Paul and he did Space Mountain, I took Bo and Luke and we watched the little cavalcade, Celebrate Happy or something, cavalcade. It was very cute. And I gotta say, Aladdin was very handsome. Very handsome. I'm like, oh, hey, I see you, Aladdin. The moms next to me were like cracking up. Because we're like, yes, he is very attractive. Then we all met at Pizza Planet, and we need to hydrate. We're all so thirsty. Okay, so my plan was after scanning into Space Mountain was to book another lightning lane, but it says I can't book until 3:02, whatever. So I'm going to wait, I guess, and then I have to wait. But we have a Tiana's And then we have a Buzz Lightyear, but they overlap in time, so I'm going to have to figure that out. My plan was to try to do Autopia and stuff, but hold on, I got to go. All right, it's been a really great day then. Yeah, so my next plan, I'm not quite sure what I'm going to do. I really don't know what my next plan is. We have overlapping plans for Tiana and Buzz Lightyear, which are on two opposite sides of the park. Buzz Lightyear was currently down, so hopefully it opens back up before our lightning lane. So I'm not sure what we need to do, but I need to get my phone on a charger. And so I think we need to like get the strollers and then head over to Tiana, I think. So, all right, touch base later, but we're having a really lovely day. Okay, so after Space Mountain, the kids, oh my God, randomly my husband like got like a Pizza Planet, which is first of all disgusting. And second of all, we were eating at 4:30, but so like a little, whatever. We just wanted a snack and drinks. We were so thirsty, but whatever. So we had a little bit of a rest. Then what did we do after Space Mountain? We did, I think we had, no, I know what we did. Buzz Lightyear opened back up. So we had two lightning lanes at the same time, Buzz Lightyear and Tiana. Tiana was from 2:30 to 3:30. Buzz Lightyear was 2:45 to 3:45. So it was like, when we were talking, it was around 2:30. We were there. We did like a bathroom. We were eating the snacks. So I'm like, and Buzz Lightyear opened back up. It had been closed. So it opened back up. So I'm like, you know what? We're running over. We're going to do Buzz Lightyear. We did that. Then we got all our strollers. And then we went and did our Tiana Lightning Lane. While one group did Tiana Lightning Lane, I went on with Zach first. Paul took the other two, got water bottles, and changed the little one. They went to the bathroom. Then after that, they switched, and I took the other two on Winnie the Pooh, and Paul went on with Zach Splash Mountain. Splash Mountain was really fun. It seems shorter than the Disney World one, and it's single file rather than like 4 or 2 in a row, 2 and 2 and 2. It's a single file. So Zach wanted me to put my legs around him and hold on to him. But I think I got like soaked. I think we got wetter on this Splash Mountain, Tiana's Bayou Adventure. So that was really fun. Okay, so then we did the Winnie the Pooh. Then we went over to New Orleans Square, which is really charming. What a cute part of the park. There's some shops there. There's on the corner, there's a cafe something, Cafe Orleans maybe. And then there's Tiana's Palace or Place. It's Place or Palace, I can't remember. But I kind of want to get beignets from there. I'm going to mobile order beignets from there, I think, when we get off of Pirates of the Caribbean. If I can, I got to look it up. And we met Tiana. She was meeting in that square too, which was really sweet. She was beautiful. We didn't have her autograph book though, because that was with Paul and Zach, but we got a cute picture with her. And then we checked in for our Blue Bayou dinner, but I'm so annoyed. Some of our party dilly-dallied getting over, and so we ended up being a late check-in because our whole party wasn't there. Even though most of us were there early, they dilly-dallied getting over, and therefore we were a late check-in. And I had asked for a preferred table because it's really lovely. It's on the water of Pirates of the Caribbean. But because we were a late check-in, look, Zach, look, she's dressed as Donald. But because we were technically a late check-in, they were unable to we were in the back table. It still was lovely, and the food was really good, and everyone ate beautifully. My boys got the kids' prime rib, and they ate every last bite. Oh my God, they ate so well. And it was a lovely atmosphere, truly. But I just was disappointed, because if some of us would have just walked with urgency, knowing what time our reservation was, that wouldn't have happened. But anyway. Now we're on the queue for Pirates of the Caribbean. It was posted 25-minute wait, but it looks really long. So I have this stopwatch going, but it's only been 8 minutes. of us online, so maybe it really is. Anyway, we're online for Pirates now. Our plan is after Pirates to do Indiana Jones. We have a special lightning lane that we got at check-in. So instead of early entry, guests at Disney resorts get like one lightning lane you can use, but you don't need to reserve it. You just can. She said you just can like walk up and show it. So we're going to use that for Indiana Jones. Now the 3 kids can't go on it, but honestly, I think that's what we need to do because there's not really much else we can use on. We could use it on Autopia, but we don't really want to. The other thing we wanted, so we were at dinner, we like reevaluate. This is another reason why I recommend one sit-down meal. Because I'm like, first, everyone's eating great, right? Everyone's eating well. Everyone's hydrating well. Adults can get an alcoholic beverage, which I had espresso martini. It was just what the doctor ordered. Because it's like 9 o'clock our time in New Jersey, but it's like 6 o'clock here, you know? But like everyone's getting a little tired. So I'm like, I need a little pick-me-up. Oh, this is cool. This queue's cool. Oh, look, the boats are right here, boys. Oh, this is me, guys. So at dinner, we reevaluate. And we say, okay, what now are must-dos? So we decided our must-dos are the submarines, the like Finding Nemo submarine boats, which is kind of like, we think it's kind of like 20,000 Leagues Under the Sea, may it rest in peace, that we had. And we want to do Indiana Jones, and we want to do we missed the Lincoln. It stopped showing at 3, we didn't know. But we want to see the Walt Disney Presents, or the Walt Disney one, and that ends at 8 o'clock. So we have time for that. And we want to be on Main Street area anyway then, because we want to do all the parades and the nighttime shows all start at 8:30. So that like will work out well, I think, the timing. So that's really it. If we get on, so Pirates was our priority, the submarines and the Indiana Jones, which we're going to do after this, and then the Walt Disney. I don't know if there's a drop in this one. I'm not sure. Okay, I'm excited for this Pirates. I hear it's a little different. I also heard a rumor that on this Pirates of the Caribbean, there's an actual human skeleton. Because at the time they did this ride, there weren't good replicas. There weren't good human skeleton replicas. So there are like unclaimed skeletons from something. I don't know where. But they're unclaimed. Like no one has ever claimed these bodies. So allegedly, I think that might have been a fact. I'll try to find an article on it and link it in the show notes. But allegedly, yeah, there's a human skeleton. Now, if it's been replaced since, I don't know. I don't think anyone really knows, to my knowledge. But I'm interested to see and wonder if it's a real human skeleton. All right, I don't know. Y'all hear from me when you hear from me. But the kids are being troopers, honestly. It's late. It's like 9. I said it's like past their bedtime, our time. They slept well, but... All right, I'll talk later. See ya. Okay, so rumor confirmed by the person next to me, and we're behind me in line. She said there were 2 skeletons that were legit, but the one definitely was changed, and she does not think the other one was changed. So interesting. Okay, Pirates was so cute. I mean, basically the same. A couple added scenes. It was really neat. And an extra drop, which was interesting. So the boys loved it. Then I think my husband, for staying on property, we had a lightning lane for Indiana. Well, anything lightning lane. So we were going to use it for Indiana Jones. So my husband went and used on Indiana Jones, but it was like weird. So he went and did that. And I took the boys and we went to the tiki room. We were gathering strollers. We had like ditched our strollers. So we were like gathering our strollers again. And meanwhile, I'm like, we did the tiki room, which was it's one of our favorites. We loved it. Slight differences. The show is the same, but there were slight little differences. Like the physical room is different. The birds seemed more spaced out here. The lighting was a little different. it was great. We love the Tiki Room. Then after Tiki Room, I can't quite remember what we did. Oh, I do remember now. I had to go to the baby care center and buy diapers, actually. They didn't have pull-ups. So we had gotten through all of the ones I brought. So, that was it. And then my husband and I met over there. And then we wanted to go see the story about Walt Disney. And there's like a Walt Disney animatronic. It's new. And we did not realize that Lincoln is only to a certain period of time, and then Walt Disney is only until a certain period of time. I didn't check that ahead of time, so we missed the Lincoln one, which was a shame because we would have loved to have seen that. And we watched the Walt Disney one. The Walt Disney one started at 8 o'clock, and then the parade was at 8:30. Then Fantasmic was 9, which we missed, and then the nighttime show Wondrous Journey, I think it was called, was at 9:30. So it was a little crazy. So we went to the Walt Disney show at 8. Then we changed the boys into pajamas. I saw someone else do this online. I'm like, oh, that's so smart, especially because we're walking back to the hotel. First of all, they were all gonna fall asleep in the stroller. We knew it. They're stroller snoozers. And then plus we have like a decent walk, not far, but a decent walk back to the hotel. And this way we could just transfer them right into bed. Yeah, is it a little skeevy? They were in pajamas in a theme park, but like, okay, yeah, a little bit, but like they barely were in. They wore it for the Walt Disney show, and then 2 of them fell asleep, and Bo went on Peter Pan. The Walt Disney thing was like really nice. The only thing is my husband kept falling asleep, and I kept yelling at him. And then 2 of my kids fell asleep in it too. Then, so that was like funny. Then after that, 2 of them, then it was like nighttime spectacular time. Oh my God. So first up was the parade. Really great parade. Parade was spectacular. And then to follow that up was this like a little pathetic nighttime show. Like just ended the parade. The parade was so good. There were no fireworks. I'm like, I can't get over it. I know I should get over it, but like I can't get over it. How was there not fireworks? I don't understand how you are Disneyland, and you don't have fireworks every night. Like how? How do you get away with that? I don't get it. I was like, so I'm watching the show and I'm like, where are the fireworks? And also no offense to Disneyland, but the castle's like small. So it's like, it's really hard to see the projection. Like you have to be really close in order to see the projections. You know what I mean? Because it's not big. So I'm like, you should have stopped at the parade. The parade was so good. And then it just was like, meh, 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 you know? But anyway, still a lovely night. So then that's like 9:30, whatever. And then I'm like, I'm still like ready to go. So Bo wanted to go on, bye, have a good night. Bo wanted to go on Peter Pan. So my husband took him. He left and did Peter Pan while I was watching the parade. He didn't want to watch the parade. So he and my husband went and rode Peter Pan. They saw the parade while they were walking to Peter Pan. But I just, stood and watched it and got like videos to show Zach and Luke when they wake up and stuff. And then, so then after that, I went to go try. So we watched the fireworks. We go get settled. We go find a place to sit down. We went back to Jolly Holiday, which was like so lovely. So we went and sat there. My husband sat there with the strollers. And I'm like, okay, I'm going to go try to use the Indiana Jones lightning lane. Indiana Jones was shut down. And then I had booked other lightning lanes. I booked the Autopia because I couldn't get an earlier one. So it wasn't until like 9:30. And then a 9:45 Haunted Mansion. So I was like, well, I'm not going to go to Autopia. That was really for my kids. But I'm like, oh, I wouldn't mind like doing Haunted Mansion and seeing the difference. So that's what I did. I went to Haunted Mansion. It was like so cute. I used my lightning lane. And then mobile ordered beignets, a 3-pack of beignets, and a mint julep. I was so thirsty. We need to hydrate more. We've been very thirsty all day. Yeah. And that was that. I met my husband. We split the mint julep. Had the what am I trying to say? The beignets. And then we sat a little bit. My husband got a coffee. I sat with the strollers. He went and got a coffee. And then the parade happened again. Like, oh my God. Oh, also, by the way, in the middle of all this, there was, okay, not really in the middle. When we're standing around waiting for the first parade, we saw something in the sky, and it was crazy. Kind of like an airplane, but it looks like it was going through water the way the smoke was. Like, at first, it was just a straight line, and then it got, like, wide, as if, like, it was making a wake in water. It was so bizarre, whatever I saw. But we got it on film. Everyone was, like, looking at it, and we're all like, what did we just see? It was crazy. Anyway, turns out my friend was freaked out by my story, and she messaged me, and she's like, it was a rocket ship. Like, SpaceX sent a rocket up or something. Anyway, apparently that's what that was. But we all were like, what is this? This is crazy. Okay, so anyway, so we're sitting, relaxing, really not rushing. And I'm like, I want to get a little souvenir. I wanted to get a shirt or a sweatshirt or like a t-shirt to sleep in. Something like, I'm not going to wear it at Disney World because that is one of my pet peeves. This is so strange, I know. I hate like when people wear vacation stuff that's not from the place, like Disneyland and Disney World or vice versa. Or like another vacation, like an Atlantis shirt. Like my dad was wearing an Atlantis shirt in Disney, and I'm like, oh my God. Like, like if you're wearing it in your resort, I wear my like Orange Lake shirts to bed a lot. But I was like, anyway, a pet peeve of mine. So I will not wear my Disneyland new sweatshirt in Disney World, but I will wear it at home. Anyway, I wanted to get a little souvenir. So I took Bo in the single stroller. Say this already, that we rented a double stroller. I think I said this in my pre-trip report, but I'm not sure if I ever like followed up with it. We rented a double stroller from a company called Traveling Baby. So I was nervous that they were going to drop it off too late this morning. They dropped it off last night, and they just left it by, I don't know if they're like supposed to do this, but they just left it by Goofy's kitchen and sent me a bunch of pictures because they're like, we're trying to lighten our load for the morning. And I'm like, great, I'd rather have it tonight anyway, just we're not even at the hotel. So that worked out really, really well. And so we had the stroller last night. But anyway, so we have a double stroller and the single stroller, our single like umbrella-y stroller. It's not like super umbrella, it has a nice storage. It's a travel stroller, I guess I should say. I shouldn't call it an umbrella stroller. I should call it a travel stroller because it's got decent storage underneath. Anyway, so I stuck around with Bo, and I took him, but he's asleep. But I took him to the whatever the equivalent to the Emporium would be, like the big shop when you're walking out of the park to the right. So when the castle's behind you to the right, that big shop. I strolled in there, and I found this like really cute, it's unlike anything I have. It's like a Spirit jersey, but it has a hood, and it's like this like grungy gray wash, like 90s grunge kind of, almost denim, but it's like gray, and it's really soft. It's a cute shirt. I have nothing like it. I don't have anything like this. So, and I'm like freezing, so I'm like, great, I'm gonna wear it. My husband bought socks. Like, it's a little cold. And then I also was like searching for a mug because I was like, oh, maybe that'll bring me joy when I drink my coffee in the morning. I like rotate between 2 mugs currently, so I'm like, I could throw a third in the mix. And then I want to get an ornament. I like collecting ornaments, but I didn't find any today. Well, I saw one in Disneyland Park, but I never went into the store. I just saw it from like the outside. So I was just going to have to wait until tomorrow or Wednesday. And then that's it. So at that point, my husband left with the double stroller, and I just went shopping with Bo. So I went to that Emporium store. I got my shirt, and then that was it. I found a mug I really liked, but I didn't buy it, and because I'm like, oh, they'll have it at World of Disney. I went to World of Disney. They didn't have it at World of Disney, so I'm like, oh, I should have bought the damn mug when I saw it. But anyway, then on my way home, like I said just now, I went to World of Disney, which is on, it's not called Disney Springs. What's it called? Downtown Disney, maybe? Maybe it's called Downtown Disney. But that's like where all the it's like Disney Springs. It's much smaller than Disney Springs, but much more manageable. It's like, it seems to be one road, and you take it to get from the Disneyland Hotel to the parks. The other hotels are off of it too, but like the Disneyland's like a straight shot off of the Disney Springs, or whatever it's called, Downtown Disney. I think it's called Downtown Disney. And now I'm just sitting in we got to the hotel, and I'm just sitting at the tower before I go up because I'm sure my husband's asleep. Really lovely day. There are a couple things we wish we would have done. I wish we had one more day here. Really, I would have liked 2 days at Disneyland, but it's okay. I had a great day, a really great day, and I think my kids did. I think everyone really liked it. I'm used to Disney World for sure. And I would just compare this one park to Magic Kingdom. We didn't even go to Galaxy's Edge, by the way, because it's a carbon copy of Disney World. And we just really wanted to try new things. Or things that we knew were different. No, this was cute. My preference is Magic Kingdom. It's because I'm used to it. The castle's way more impressive. It's just a bigger wow factor, I think. But the sentimentalness, the sentiment of Disneyland is so beautiful. To know that Walt built this and was there and frequented it. I'd love to go back. We'll go back to Disneyland, and next time I went out, I told my husband, I want to stay a week or 4 days, 4 or 5 days. I want to stay an extended period of time so we're not rushed. And I want to do that tour where you can see Walt's apartment, but the kids are too young. They have to be a certain age to do things like that. But it was a really great day, and I'm excited for California Adventure tomorrow, but I'm really tired. I'm gonna fall asleep sitting here. So I'm gonna go bring my little bubby up, just take his shoes off, transfer him right to bed, and then get myself changed and head to bed. I gotta take my contacts out. They're driving me nuts. Really wonderful day. Weather was beautiful, cold at night, and temperature dropped. But it was hot in the middle of the day. Definitely we need to do a better job tomorrow of hydrating. But I'm excited for tomorrow. I don't know what to expect. I have no idea what to expect. This park's the hardest for me to wrap my head around. But today was a good day. We had a really good plan. I'm upset about the Pizza Planet fiasco because that pizza just was garbage. What a waste. And I wanted to go to Bengal Barbecue for lunch, but it just didn't quite work out. And I really wanted to go on that submarine ride, but it's okay. We did so much. I'll have to count out all the rides we did, but if you look at my Instagram stories, it's crazy all that we got done. So I'm hoping for another wonderful day tomorrow and Wednesday too. Oh, and I snagged, I might have said this already, but I had a stakeout for Goofy's Kitchen, which is a character meal here at our hotel, at Disneyland Hotel. And guess what? I'm online for Alice in Wonderland, and I felt a notification on my watch, and I'm and I looked up, and I was quick, and boom, snagged an 8:20 Goofy's Kitchen reservation for Wednesday. So, okay, I'm very tired. I'm gonna go rest my tired feet, get my little babe in his bed, and I slept terribly last night, so I really hope. I was very anticipating today, you know what I mean? And my husband's snoring is really bad. And I just was worried. I had a lot. There was a lot. I don't know. I was worried about today, I guess. Not worried, but moms, our brains never shut off. But I just was anxious about today, hoping everything was going to go well, that we weren't going to oversleep, But it was a beautiful day. Okay, I'm going to bed. Good night. Hello from California Adventure. It is 12 o'clock, so I have an update. It's been a little crazy. We've had a great day, not as productive as our last day. We all got a late start in the morning. My husband had to randomly work. It would have been, but we're all so tired. He couldn't wake up any earlier. Like, we're so tired. So he was like doing some work while we were trying to leave. I mobile ordered breakfast from the quick service at the Disneyland Hotel called the Coffee House. So that was fine. The only thing is I couldn't, we were wasted a lot of time trying to find it. I didn't exactly know where it was. So we got into the park certainly later than we did yesterday. So really we weren't able to take advantage of any rope drop. But right away we went to Monsters Inc., which was a walk-on, and it is so cute. It's just a dark ride through the story. It tells you the story of the first Monsters Inc. And it was adorable. And after that, the waits were actually pretty long. So instead of doing rides, we went over to Avengers Campus, and Black Panther was meeting, Iron Man was meeting, Doctor Strange, and Spider-Man. So we met 4 characters right there, right away. Then we took a family picture. We had to go to the bathroom a bunch. And then after that we we headed over to Cars Land. Cars Land's really cute. I'd like to come back again when it's all lit up tonight. But I said that last night too about going back to Fantasyland, and we never really did. But it's really cute. We did in Cars Land. We were kind of hanging out. We got a churro at the Cozy Cone Motel. The different cones are different quick service snacks. So one has churros, and all of them have different beverages. So one is churros, one has 2 I think might have had ice creams. One had popcorn, and one had plain popcorn, and one had I don't know, it almost looked like mac and cheese in a cone. I don't really know. Stay over here, baby. Then as soon as we swiped in, I bought Radiator Springs Racers, which was at 11. It was an 11 o'clock window, 11:05. And then the other first thing I did was grab a Guardians of the Galaxy Lightning Lane. And I got that for not Luke, but the other 4 of us, because Luke can't ride it anyway. Then so I had to wait 2 hours to book another one. But the thing is, I don't know, the waits are getting kind of long. So then I booked Web Slingers, because I know Luke's going to want to go on that. It's a Spider-Man ride. But that's not until 2 o'clock or 3 o'clock even. So I don't know, the times are already kind of late. We're not even really using the Lightning Lane very well. But I don't really know what to do, because those are priority rides. So I don't want them to sell out or get too late where the kids aren't awake. So I think, whatever, it is what it is. So we did Radiator Springs Racers, Bo and I, and then my husband and the other 2 went on this other little Luigi ride, which is really very cute, but there's no height limit, so Luke can go on it, and it's very cute. But also no lightning lanes, so you have to just wait in queue. So we actually beat them off it. And then, so now Luke liked it so much, and Bo wanted to go on it. So Bo, Luke, and I are on the standby line for that, while Paul went on Radiator Springs Racers with Zach. Then after that, while we were sitting and having our snack and bathroom breaks and stuff, before we did Radiator Springs Racers, I mobile ordered lunch. I already changed the arrival window to push it a little bit later, since this Luigi ride took a little too long. So I pushed the arrival window, but we want to eat in San Fran, Tokyo. It's Asian, Pan-Asian food. And we love Asian food. Our kids always eat very well, hot stickers and stuff. So I had already mobile ordered that with 4 bottles of water. So we're ready. So we're ready for after Cars Land. Then I guess we'll do Pixar Pier. There's a couple rides we can do over there. Oh, my next booking will come up soon, 20 minutes. I'll be able to book our next Lightning Lane, and maybe that time I'll try to do ones that we can do kind of right away. And then, but really, these are the biggest parts. Then there's Pixar Pier, which is more like a boardwalk. And then there's that grizzly bear ride, which was down before, but it's a water ride. So that would actually be good to do after lunch in the heat of the day. And then there's the Little Mermaid dark ride, which we have in Disney World. So it's not high on our priority list, but would be great if we could do. And the other thing my boys love is Soarin', so I'd like to get a Lightning Lane for that. But overall, like, not that many rides here. The other thing we have is a 620 Lamplight Lounge dinner reservation. So we're gonna, we have the dinner reservation there. All right, I'll talk back later. So far, so good. We're having a great day. It's a beautiful day, sunny, warm. The thing is, it is cold in the morning, but then it like, you know, it really heats up. So, all right, talk later. Okay, so last we heard, I think I was heading to lunch. We had lunch, but I gotta tell you, the mobile order took 25 minutes from the time I said I'm here, prepare my food until we got it. 25, almost 30 minutes. It was a really long time, so it's just a lot of sitting and waiting with something that's supposed to be kind of quick, you know. So I was like and we were getting a little stressed because our lightning lanes were starting. So we had a Guardians of the Galaxy lightning lane, which is basically Tower of Terror, but just rethemed to Guardians of the Galaxy. Well, it is Tower of Terror. It was just rethemed to Guardians of the Galaxy. And a Little Mermaid. We had it at like the same time. So we did that. My husband took my Zach, one twin, over to Guardians of the Galaxy first. We finished, me, Bo, and Luke, we finished lunch and then we went to Little Mermaid, and then we switched. We met over at Guardians of the Galaxy, and Paul took Zach and Luke back to Little Mermaid to ride it. Luke rode it twice, but then Bo hated Guardians of the Galaxy, my poor little baby. There's a sweet little band here. This is cute. Enjoy that. That was like so cute. Okay, then we met over we had a Web Slingers for 3:30. So it was around like 2:30 or something like that. Oh, so then we like hung out in Avengers Campus. We met tons of characters. We met Miss Marvel, Captain Marvel, Thor, Loki, Red Guardian. I don't know who that is. But we met him. He was really fun and funny. It was really neat. And we saw this really awesome Spider-Man show. He did these awesome thrills. This like amazing jump from one building to the other. Like, it was pretty incredible. Made us all get, like, it was really cool, like a little stunt show. And then we had our Web Slingers lightning lane. I gotta say, the one thing is that wait times are really long and the lightning lanes are all booked up. We wanted a lightning lane for Soarin'. We're going here now. We have, from staying on property, we get like a fancy one. But we were going to use it for Incredicoaster, but we're just going to use it for Soarin' because the wait's so long. Okay, so we're going to go try to set up a rider switch because Luke still can't do it. Where's Luke? Oh. All right, and that's where we are. 620 is our dining reservation, so I think we're going to hang out on Pixar Pier after that because our dining reservation's right at the base of Pixar Pier. So, okay, that's really it. The waits are a little frustrating. Lightning Lane is just meh, but okay, let's go. Let's go set up our rider switch. Bye. It is 5:41. I am in this grizzly, I don't even know what it's called, but like playground. It's really cool. It's like campy themed, with like redwoody, I guess. I really don't know California topography, but there's like a rock slide and like all these like nets you can climb. It's very cool. It's like an adventure course almost, but also like a playground. So I'm here with Luke while the twins do Soarin'. We rider swapped Soarin'. I went on it once with the twins, and now my husband's going on with the twins. So they get to ride twice, lucky ducks. We have a dinner reservation at 6:20. This is really cool. Great way for kids to like regulate a little bit and just run and be free. A little stressful for parents, of course, always. But it's a great, like, safe area where kids are just like running around and playing. We have a 6:20 dining reservation at Lamplight Lounge. Okay, so I'm not quite sure what we're gonna do. We have a Grizzly River run thing. I don't know, it's a water ride. We have a lightning lane for that. I don't feel like getting wet. I'm also a little cold right now and I want to put my sweatshirt on, but it's in the other stroller. So I said to my husband, if he wants to ride it with the kids, the twins, he can go straight from there from Soarin'. and then we'll just all meet at the restaurant after. I have jeans and actually new shirts and stuff and sweaters for them to change into if they get wet. So I'm not sure what to do. And then I'm guessing between lunch and the show, we'll do Lamplight, we'll do Pixar Pier maybe. Oh, he made a little friend. Luke. Oh my God, he made a little friend. This boy was calling my little Luke. That was so sweet. Oh my God, that was so cute. So I'm not quite sure exactly how the rest of our day is going to go. There's still a few more rides we'd like to do that we might not get the chance to. Like, I'd really like to do the Incredicoaster, but like our time's kind of... I really want to watch the fireworks, the World of Color show. It's like a water show. I really want to watch it. So it's just, I don't know when that's ride would have to happen. I don't know. So we'll see. Okay, we're having fun though. It's really fun. Oh, he made a little friend. It's really cute. Oh my God, he's filthy because he fell. Now he's like filthy. Oh, this is cute to watch. Okay, talk later. All right, it is 7:45 and guess what? We had some very good luck. So we're sat down to eat. We have a beautiful table right on the water. And our lovely waitress, Rebecca, who is so kind, she's like, you have a beautiful view for the show. You should just stay, you can stay here till close. You have the best seat in the house for the show. So we're like, oh my God. Because I joined a virtual queue for like the nighttime show. And I'm like, so what? We'll ignore the virtual queue and then listen to what happens. So we both really wanted to ride Incredicoaster, but it's 7:45, right? We wanted to be at the queue for the sit down for the show by like 8:30. And the virtual queue actually said check in by 8:36. So that was like our plan. And then guess what happened? We're sitting dining. All of a sudden I get a buzz on my phone. Now, if you recall, we had a Grizzly River lightning lane that we never redeemed. Because it was the same time basically as dinner. It was like 6:15 to 7:15. So around like, I don't know what time. Was it 7 o'clock? Maybe a little bit before. I got a buzz on my phone, and it said, I guess Grizzly River went down, temporarily closed, and my lightning lane turned into an any lightning lane. What's it called? I'm forgetting. Where you can use it for like any experience or most experiences. You can't use it for like Radiator Springs Racers or something you have to buy separately. But guess what? Incredicoaster was included in that. So I'm like, all right, Paul, you sit with the kids. I'm going to go scan into the lightning lane for Incredicoaster, and then we're going to switch. So I'm going to do it now. Hopefully I'm on. They just stopped letting people in by 8:30, so I think that's plenty of time. I just scanned in. It's 7:47. My guess is I'll be on in just a few minutes, and then he'll do the same thing. So, oh my God, I'm so excited. So I'm ready. I'm going to be doing Incredicoaster. I'm in the lightning lane line now. The standby line is very, very long, and so is the single rider. There's a single rider line, but it looks really, really long. I mean, I don't really understand how the queue works, per se, so I'm having a hard time judging how long it is. But everywhere I look, I see people, so it looks long to me. But anyway, exciting. Very good luck. We had a lot of pixie dust sprinkled on us. Hello, it is 1:12. We're at the Disneyland Hotel, just enjoying a beautiful, relaxing day. So sad we already checked out, and our car service comes at 2 to leave. I'm sad to leave, but I am excited to go to Palm Springs. This was lovely. I loved this hotel. It is not too big, which I love, but has a lot of amenities. There's a bunch of pools. There's a little splashy pad. There's awesome slides. The boys are like loving the slides. I wish there was a zero entry pool. I haven't found that yet, but it doesn't matter. They're having so much fun. Great pool service. The chairs are comfy, ample towels. The ambient, listen to that music. It's just so lovely. We really had a lovely trip. I'm sad to leave. All right, this morning we had remember I used Stakeout app, again, my new favorite app, and I scored a Goofy's Kitchen reservation for this morning. I got that 2 days ago when we were in Disneyland Hotel. I got that reservation. It came up. So we had an 8:20 reservation here. It was so great. The boys love it. Really nice character interactions, and the food was fine. great.
On that day.
Anyway, it was a lovely trip. I recommend this hotel. It was great. And I'm just going to do a little shopping before we check out. I'll talk later from Palm Springs, I guess. Hello from sunny California. I have some final thoughts about comparing Disney World and Disneyland, or thoughts about Disneyland, but I have to sort of compare it to Disney World a little bit, okay? So first off, the weather is gorgeous. It's April here, early April here in California, and the weather was really nice. It was pretty chilly in the morning and at night, but during the day, like quite hot. So do with that as you will. We're in Florida. I find that in like February, but usually by April, I feel like it's actually, I haven't been to Disney World in April in a long time, but I feel like it's just like hot and humid. So the weather's been really lovely. We've really enjoyed the weather. Disneyland's beautiful. I mean, really cool. The Cars Land's awesome. Avengers Campus has awesome characters. I wish that it's a little stark when you walk through the area. I wish there was a little more, but there are so many characters there that's what's, I think, the entertaining thing. And the Spider-Man show is just like incredible. I loved how close everything was. Like, it was really nice walking to Disneyland, California Adventure, walking through the Disney Springs. It's called Downtown Disney, but it's like Disney Springs if you're comparing to Florida. I loved walking through that to get to the parks. Like, everything's so close, and that was really lovely. Reminds me of like the Echo Lake area, sort of, where you can walk to 2 parks, a bunch of resorts, and like a shopping and entertainment district. It's all so walkable. I love that. I love a walkability factor. I think that's just invaluable, honestly. Loved that. The room was dated. The bathroom was very dated, honestly. The Disneyland Hotel, I loved it, but it was dated. It wasn't fresh and new, especially for like the price you're paying. But you pay for like location, you pay for more than just that. The monorail was down. Not that we were going to use the monorail anyway, but like that was down too. So it's expensive, of course, but we were expecting that. But the room was like dated. We're like the Grand Floridian. The rooms are so beautiful. I'm like so fresh, I think. But it costs a lot of money and time to renovate. I get that, but the room definitely was dated. But the amenities were great. The pools were great. I loved the size of the resort. It wasn't too big. I like a small resort with tons of amenities. I think that's like ideal because it's not very far to get to things, but there was a lot offered. Really, overall, we loved it. The food was good. I mean, I wanted to do a different quick service at Disneyland than we did because the pizza was disgusting. But I'm from New Jersey. I don't get pizza anywhere other than New Jersey or New York. And whatever, that was just a miss. But other than that, like, our dinners were great. Food was great. Prices, I think, are comparable to Florida. Yes, it's expensive. It's expensive. You know it's expensive going to Disney. But I will say, I think the staff in Florida is better. They're friendlier. They're used to dealing with more people, I guess. Maybe that's why. I don't know. I encountered a few people who were just a little cold, where I don't think I've ever experienced that in Disney World, except for once during COVID, which was an unprecedented time. It brought out the worst in everyone. So I give a little bit of a pass because the poor cast members, I'm sure they don't want to go harass children for eating popcorn standing like on the street. Like, I'm sure that's not their ideal thing, is to like harass a child eating popcorn. So I saw like a few really poor moments in 2021. But since then, I have never seen that again. There were a couple like cold cast members. They didn't, certainly not super helpful. There wasn't like extra explanation, where I feel like in Disney World you get that more, like they're a little more like, I don't know, like So for example, in Disney World, you can check in on your phone, of course, but you can also go up to the desk and check in at the desk, which I almost always do because I usually have big parties. So I never check in. If I'm with a big party, I always check in at the desk because I need to tell them that the 3 parties or whatever are together. I never check in on my phone. Here I went to do the same thing. I went up to the desk. And she's like, it was very kind of rude to be like, you check in on your phone. And I'm like, well, I know I can check in on my phone, but I want to like check in with you at the desk. So she was just, I didn't say that, but I was like, okay. But in my head, I want to be like, yeah, I know I can check in on my phone. I'd rather check in with you at the desk. But she was very rude to me at Lamplight Lounge. I did not appreciate the attitude. And I feel like I don't see that much. And that wasn't the only case. There were a few just cold. It just was different. Where in Disney World, I always brag about like how wonderful the cast members are and helpful. And like just go out of their way to make your day special. And I didn't feel that at Disneyland. So that was like a difference. I loved it. I want to come back and I want to stay longer. But I say I do, maybe just because I'm used to it. I like Disney World better. I like Epcot. I love Epcot. Epcot's one of my favorite parks. So like that, I loved that. I don't know. I also was here for such a short period of time. It was hard. And I love Animal Kingdom. It's such a different vibe. It's so cool. But this was awesome too. I really enjoyed our trip. And I want to come back when my kids are all tall enough to go on all the rides. And again, the weather's like really nice. It is hot. It was hot in the middle of the day. But again, the weather was like, it's just really nice. Lovely. It's not humid either. It's like dry, which is, hot is hot, but at least it's not like you feel like your lungs are collapsing. So really lovely. And it's also like really magical to think that like Walt Disney was here and walked this park and had an apartment there right in the park. And like, that's just amazing. But it was really nice. I can't wait to come back. This is our last full day here in California, and then tomorrow our flight's home. It's Friday today, and it's a lovely day. I'm gonna go lay by the pool, hit the bathroom, and then go lay by the pool. All right. I'll talk later. I'll hopefully be back with my Dining in Epcot episode. I'm so sorry it's taking so long. And I don't know when my next trip to Disney World is, and I hate that. I'm thinking in the fall at some point, but I don't have anything booked, and I hate that. I hate not having anything booked. It makes me sad. Well, I do have a Disney cruise booked in February, so I'm excited for that. All right, I'll talk when I'm back in New Jersey and if I have any more thoughts. Okay, thank you so much for listening. I hope you found this enjoyable and informative. Hopefully you found it either one of those two things. Final thoughts, it was really amazing, and I truly can't wait to go back. I want a longer time. 2 days was not enough for me, but I am the type of person who likes to see and do everything. I'm such a Disney fan. And I don't know, I'm upset. We didn't really do Frontierland. We didn't do Star Wars Land at all, but I'm okay with that. But I would have liked to have done Frontierland more. I would have liked to have done a few of the Fantasyland rides again. So I can't wait to go back. But next time I go, I want to spend a longer time. We also really enjoyed the pool. We didn't even do Downtown Disney at all either, just walking through it. So I'd like to, go add 2 to 3 extra days where we can eat downtown in Downtown Disney or stroll down there without a park ticket. But it was really magical. I loved it. And as I said before too, I want to go back and do the tour, do one of the tours that you can do there, where you can see Walt's apartment. But my boys are too young. There's age limits in a lot of those tours, and my boys are too young. So we'll go back, but not until Luke is tall. Well, yeah, until Luke is taller and can ride the majority of those rides. But it was really amazing. We had a really nice time, and I recommend, if you're headed to Southern California, maybe consider a Disneyland trip. It was really lovely. More laid back than Walt Disney World in a way. I'm not laid back really. So I like to have a plan and schedule and see everything. But in general, I guess the vibe is a little more laid back. But it was really, really awesome. And I'm really happy we had that experience. We do not have another trip planned. We are planning on going back to Disney World in the fall, either November. There's my kids go to private school, but in New Jersey there's teachers convention, which is through the New Jersey Teachers Union with the public schools. But all public school students have off of school for 2 days in November. Some have off the whole week because it's usually around election day. It's like right after election day usually. So some districts give that whole week off. Again, my kids go to private school, so it doesn't matter. But we're planning on going with, we have friends who are going that week. I mean, you see a lot of people. It's new, they call it New Jersey Week or Jersey Week. Our friends are going that week, and we kind of want to go with my cousin. My my cousin and his wife, they have a daughter who's the same age as my twins, and a son who's a year younger than Luke, but they get along so well, these kids, and they also love Disney like we do and do it similarly that like we do. So I think it'd be fun to go together. So we're looking into that week in November, knowing might be a little busy, but still President's Day is busier than Teachers Convention. Or I also love the first week in December. We went during Halloween last year, so maybe like going more Christmassy would be fun. I love that first week in December. I think it's a gem of a week to go to Disney. Either way, my kids would be missing school, so that doesn't matter for me. Like, it's not like, oh, we have off these days and not these days. The kids would just have to miss school. That first week in November, the first Christmas party starts, so we could go to a Christmas party then in that teachers convention week, potentially. The only thing that wouldn't be Christmassy would be Epcot. Epcot is like delayed in decorating for Christmas because they're still in food and wine, but that's fine, whatever. I love food and wine too. So I'm not sure. We still haven't quite figured it out. Hopefully in the next month or two, we kind of iron it out. There are a lot of good sales that are being released, but it's mostly for summer travel. Like if you have an annual pass, they have 40% off a lot of rooms. There's amazing dining deals. There's a good whole vacation package. Because we have annual passes, we don't do things like that. Like the vacation package wouldn't be applicable to us because we're not buying tickets. But the dining plan, that's all through the rest of this year. I want to do that. I've never done the dining plan. And right now, for the remainder of this year, kids eat free. Well, they don't eat free. One kid eats free with a paying adult. So in my family, we would buy 2 adult dining plans and 1 child plan. Instead of buying 3 children dining plans, we would only have to purchase 1 additional one. So I think it's a good time to try the dining plan and see if we like it. So I think that's going to be our plan. I want to stay on property. I'd like to stay at the Polynesian. I've never stayed there before. Or I also love Echo Lake. I love Beach Yacht Club Boardwalk. And I was looking on David Vacation Rentals. I never am super impressed with the prices there. I'm sorry. I don't know. Some people rave and rave and rave about it, but I don't know. I'm sitting there breaking it down. It's still $1,000 a night for some of the rooms, I don't know. There were a couple decent deals. There was one I saw, it was Fort Wilderness, and it was $630 a night. That's not bad for that size of a room at Fort Wilderness. And then there was a 2-bedroom that was pretty reasonable. And I was thinking I could share that with my cousin. We'd be in one room, they'd be in another room, and the kids be scattered, and it sleeps 9. That wasn't bad. I can't remember what the breakdown was, but I remember seeing that, and I sent it to my cousin Lexi, and I was like, oh, this isn't a bad deal. Something to look at. Let's see, what was it? It was 2-bedroom. It would be $1,722 a night, which is $861 per family. So it's still expensive. It's definitely a deluxe, but it's not awful. And that's at the Contemporary. That was at Bay Lake Tower, which my husband would not want to stay at the Contemporary. If you have heard him talk about the Contemporary, you know he hates it. So it'd be a really hard sell to get him to stay there. But anyway, my point is I've been scrolling David's vacation rentals too. But I could just book right through Disney's website. And likely the discounts aren't, the annual pass discounts don't go until through the winter yet. But likely a regular deluxe room, we'd have like typically it's like 35% off for annual pass holders. You know, some days, probably not the weekend, but so those aren't released yet, but something I'm thinking of too. We could just like book a regular room with the 35% discount. But I'm still scrolling David's vacation rentals because maybe something amazing will pop up. Maybe it's too far in advance for it to be a really good deal. I bet like more last minute would be better deals. So I'm not sure. But I don't know. Some people rave about it, but I just haven't found a scenario where I'm like, oh my God, this is such a good deal. Most of them I'm like, it's about the same if you book it online, and especially with my 35% discount. Like I'm like, it's kind of the same. Okay, next up will be Epcot dining. I'm so sorry. I need to sit down and just record it again. I recorded it once with a friend, but the audio was awful. We only had one mic instead of two, and it just was horrible. So I need to re-record it. So hopefully I'll record it soon. Thank you so much for listening. If you enjoyed this episode, please give it a little rating, maybe a little comment. That would be so great. Share it with someone who you know is interested in going to Disneyland or has plans to go to Disneyland. They probably maybe enjoy it. I've said this before, but I find a lot of value in listening to people's trip reports. I learn a lot of tips and tricks. I learn people's opinions, like, oh, that was clever. They rented from this stroller company. I didn't even know that. Things like that. I don't know. I find a lot of value in listening to other people's trip reports, and I hope you do too. Thank you again so much for listening, and I'll see you real soon.